What's up, guys? Uh, just thought I would maybe post a small video here, maybe help somebody out. I get plenty of help on YouTube. I've done some stuff and found a lot of information, so pay it back a little bit. I have a few problems with this 99 Jag XJR. I got it in 2012. It was all original. Had to change a few things on it. Put two alternators on it. Had to get the head gaskets redone, which cost about $3 grand. Done some other stuff to it here and there, windshield, whatnot. Get the alternator on, you gotta take the wheel off and then get it out through a little door or window there. But now I've recently had a water leak, and a few months ago the knock sensors code came up, so I have to take this supercharger off. And another video I saw on YouTube, a guy said you don't have to take these off to get it off, and that appears to be true. There's a bolt back in there, a couple of them, and then there's I think there's two up front. I took the top off, and superchargers, I don't know if it's supposed to do that or not. Must have some sort of something in there, but I don't know about superchargers. But anyway, I got a rebuild kit for that anyway. It comes with bearings and oil and whatnot. It looks, I don't see any chips in there or nothing, but it's just carbon built up, so I figured, well, the actual check engine light went off, and the whatever it was, another indication, the restricted performance went off. So I guess the knock sensors healed themselves somehow or another. I don't know how it could do that, but it did, and it was running fine. But I already bought them, so I'm going to replace them. And since I got this water leak somewhere back in here, this is what they call, I think, an octopus hose. It's got like 6 or 8 different, well, you think it'd have 8, but I don't actually know if it's got 8 connections. But I don't even know if that's what's leaking. But that's a little thin right here, and it is, I can't tell if it's breaking through, but it's kind of close. There's another hose over here. It goes up here. It's got 2 or 3 different. That's getting a little thin right there on that corner. And they're probably original, as I said. This thing's got 170,000 miles on it. And it had 70 when I bought it, 74. It was running great, and then it just, you know, 20-year-old car, so stuff's gonna start going out. Little things here, little things there. It still runs good. Just got this water leak. But anyway, I took the overflow part off. I was thinking maybe it was leaking here. This is where your sensor goes, and that thing just kind of fell out. It didn't really fall out, but it wasn't in there good, so I don't know if it was leaking there. It could have been leaking right there at that little brown spot, but I just said, hell, if I'm going to do all this, I'm going to just get a new one. Better safe than sorry. I used to know a guy who was in the plastics business, and he said that after about 18 years, that's about the life of plastics. So they start deteriorating over time with heat. But there's a leak in here somewhere. Don't really know where. I can't really see anything green or anything like that. I'm thinking, I noticed under the car it was leaking behind this heat shield, which is like, I don't know if you can see down there, but there's a heat shield, kind of perforated looking, right there. Right there. Underneath the car, it was kind of coming behind that. I could see it dripping, so I'm thinking got to be something in the firewall or back in there. So I guess I'm going to end up buying a $200 octopus hose These little quick connects here, they say squeeze them, but it's just kind of a pain in the ass. I just took a little screwdriver, put behind the edge there, and just kind of worked one side. Didn't do it real hard, and it just popped right out. So, and anyway, this guy says that this supercharger will come out, and that's a good news, because I don't want to take as little off as possible. Take that bolt out, and there's one couple down in there, and then there's two right over here, and you got to get a universal, and I got a magnet to get them out, but putting them back in might be a pain in the ass. Of course, you could take, I guess you could take these off. But that guy's video, there's the two bolts there holding it on, I believe, that one. And then there's another one over there, I'm sure. And then he had it just slid out the front, so. Anyway, we're gonna try that. Alright, so we got the belt off. Got the old breaker bar in there. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I gotta change that. I mean, I gotta take that off anyway to get this supercharger off, but I gotta take it off anyway because that new belt that I put on there for the alternator, when I put these belts on, it must have been riding on the pulley, and it cut 2 or 3 ribs off of it. I noticed that a couple of days ago. So I did put new pulleys on this thing. Had one making noise, so I changed the bearings. Somebody had on a blog said that they just changed the bearings instead of buying the whole new pulleys, which is like 60 bucks, where you can change the bearings for like 5 bucks. So that's just one of the things I did, and you know, we'll keep going. I've done a few other things, as I said, but let's keep going. Alright, so we got this manifold unbolted. There's 4 8mm bolts. One here, then one directly across, and then over there. Same thing, 8mm, well, at least 8mm heads to it, but there's a fitting in there that looks all original, or at least if it's been changed, it was a long time ago. So we got to get in there somehow with this screwdriver, and then somehow get my screwdriver on that, or probably gonna get a, I can get a socket on it, probably get a socket. Pain in the ass, I'll tell you. But somebody went happy. The engineer who engineered this went happy on hoses. I mean, it's just like hoses. You know, get a T off to that line. You know, a T here. No wonder they cost $200 a piece. All those. I don't know if that's what size that is. Probably a metric. It might be an 8mm too. I'd be lucky. I got my screwdriver in it. Okay. Well, I got it turning luckily, but getting it off there is not going to be any fun. Got my screwdriver turning it. It's probably just like the rest of them, and seized on there. And it actually came off all right. So let's see if we can get this sucker worked out of here with my one hand. There it goes. Okay. This is the manifold. See, you got O-rings, which look to be original. I'll change those. Thermostat in there. I think this is the upgrade for the XJ8 that comes normally on a XJR. I think the 8 is plastic. So we'll just put this up to the side somewhere and sit here for a minute. I think I heard some hissing on that the other day but you can see my belt where it ate up, I guess, it was probably riding on that edge somewhere. I didn't sew it and it cut through it, but it's still working. But I'm gonna change that. I got one ordered already. $40 again for a new belt. So now that I got that off, I can get the supercharger off. I'm definitely gonna change this hose because it's all blowed out. I don't know if that's normal. That's the way it comes, but I'm gonna change it anyway. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take these bolts out. Actually hadn't been too bad. I'm in South Carolina and that heat wave's hit. Even though it's kind of overcast today, it's still probably 85 degrees. It was 102 the other day. It was been mid 90s, 95 to 98 for like the last couple weeks. Dry as a bone. Plus you got 60, 70, 80% humidity. So add 5 to 10 degrees to whatever it says. And you can imagine, I'm already pouring sweat and I've only been out here 15, 20 minutes. That's the way it is around here. 5th highest humid place in the States is Greenville, South Carolina, upstate. I was in Columbia a couple of years ago working. It was 92 degrees down there and the heat index was 112. You could walk outside and it literally felt like you were in a sauna. So, but anyway, everything is probably I put a new water pump on that several months back right there. That's why I had new belts and must have got that one misaligned. But let's go ahead and try to get this supercharger off. So it looks like I might have bit off more than I really wanted to chew. I ain't afraid of doing it, but there's 2 bolts there, one there, and then there's one there, and there was 2 in there I took out, and apparently, well, I'm too dumb to realize, I guess, that at least right off the bat, that, well, maybe you need to take the throttle body off because it's hooked to it. So anyway, then you got these coolant manifolds, I guess, these, and then they're hooked right there with that. So then you got that, and then you got a bunch of crap here to try to unhook just to get that off. I don't know. Gotta be something holding the back in it. I'm gonna have to take this throttle body off just to see what the hell is going on. Which means I gotta get this connector off, which I just tried to do and I couldn't do it. I need to get a screwdriver, take that one off. Take this linkage off. I think this will get out of the way. So we're getting into some shit here, and it's gonna be a lot more than I thought. Alright, so we got the throttle body off. There's a electronic connection there. It goes like this in there. You got this hose on bottom, and there's a 1, 2, 3 electronic connections. That ain't too bad. We got it off. Several hoses. Just stick it out of the way for now until we get ready to put it up somewhere for the night. So let's see what we got to do to get this supercharger off there. I guess I'm gonna have to take that off. I think it's those 2 4 back ones. There's 2 there, and then there's 2 over there. So I guess that's got to come off. Wow. But one thing about it, I can see down here now where all the hoses connect. If there's any wiring problems or anything. I put this new in like a year ago, or not quite a year ago. Got the linkage off, Now the windshield wiper, it starts way up. It goes down, then goes back up to start. So I got the linkage off. I got to take that back out, which that ain't no fun. But hell, what is fun on this thing? Look at all this shit. Looks like the guys who did my head gaskets, which I ended up knowing the guy, used the, I don't know if that might be a new gasket. It's been, I can't say it's not an old gasket. It could be a new one or old one. It's been 3 or 4 years ago that they did that. And my car started leaking that water. It's got a lot of the same original hoses on it, which I guess they obviously reused. But that guy ended up kind of screwing me a little bit. He got the car running, but he didn't do some things he said he was going to do. He said he was going to take the oil pan off of it while they had it apart and change main bearings and rod bearings, and I went to change the oil, and the oil pan hadn't been touched. So let's continue on.